In mouth we have teeth and tongue. So what the teeth do? When you take the food inside your mouth, the teeth helps in grinding the food. It helps in cutting and grinding the food. And the tongue helps in mixing the food with the, okay, let's start. Teeth helps in cutting and chewing the food. Teeth helps in cutting and chewing the food, so that the food becomes soft and slippery. Now, what does the tongue do? It helps the food in mixing with saliva. It helps the food mixing with saliva. So in mouth, saliva is secreted. So that saliva is mixed with the food with the help of tongue. So first we take the food, we chew it, we break the food into small molecules or small items, and we will make it into a paste. And while doing this, saliva is secreted into the mouth by salivary glands. So that saliva will make the food soft and slippery. So the tongue helps in mixing the food with saliva and make it soft and slippery. Now we will discuss about what is saliva. Actually, saliva is a juice which is secreted from the salivary glands. Salivary glands are present in the near the mouth. Which secretes, these salivary glands secretes saliva. Okay, this salivary gland secretes saliva. Now we have 3 pairs of salivary glands. 3 pairs of salivary glands. Okay, we have 3 pairs of salivary glands. What are they? So we have 3 pairs of salivary gland. First pair is called as submandibular, second pair is called as submaxillar, third pair is called as sublingual or parotid gland. So submandibular salivary gland is present the side of the jaw. Okay, it is present near the side of the jaws. Submaxillar is present below the tongue. And sublingual is present at the side of the ears. Here, somewhere here, here. Okay, so we have 3 pairs of salivary glands in the mouth region or in the buccal cavity region. They are submandibular, submaxillar and sublingual. So the positions have been given. So what these 3 glands do? 3 salivary glands. They will secrete saliva. They will secrete saliva. So saliva mixes with the food present in the mouth and makes it soft and slippery. So one more important thing is saliva contains some enzymes. Saliva contains some enzymes. Saliva contains, now the saliva contains an enzyme called salivary enzyme. It contains enzyme called salivary amylase. which is also called as xylem. Which is also called as xylem. So saliva contains an enzyme called salivary amylase, which is also called as xylem. It starts digesting the carbohydrates present in the food. So salivary amylase acts on carbohydrates present in the food. So the digestion of carbohydrates starts in the mouth. Proteins and fats are not digested. Only carbohydrates digestion starts in the mouth. So salivary amylase, which is present in the saliva, starts the digestion of carbohydrates in the mouth. So this entire thing happens in the mouth. So first, mouth. In mouth, the food is cutted, chewed and made into soft and slippery with the help of saliva. So by the process of cutting the food and making it, the process of cutting the food, chewing and making it soft and slippery is called as mastication. Okay, is called as mastication. So what is mastication? The process of cutting the food and chewing it and making it soft and slippery is called mastication. Very important term, mastication. What is mastication? So the process of cutting the food and chewing it and making it soft and slippery is called as mastication. So with the help of the teeth you will cut the food, you will chew the food, and the tongue helps in mixing the food with what? Saliva. So saliva has secreted from saliva is secreted from salivary glands. So saliva contains an enzyme called salivary amylase. So saliva, what is the importance of salivary amylase? What is the important role? So salivary amylase starts digesting carbohydrates. So the first digestion of carbohydrates starts in the mouth. Okay, this. So then the tongue helps in swallowing. Tongue helps in swallowing the food. Tongue and lower jaw. So we have in our skull, in our entire head, the only movable jaw is lower jaw. You can't move any other jaws, but the lower jaw is movable. So the tongue and the lower jaw helps in swallowing the food. Okay, tongue and lower jaw helps in swallowing the food. Next, after the mouth, where does the food enters? The food enters into the esophagus. The food enters into the esophagus. Now the food has entered into the esophagus. So what happens in the esophagus? The food enters into esophagus through peristaltic movement. Food enters into esophagus by peristaltic movement. Okay, by peristaltic movement. It is a wave-like movement. Peristaltic movement is nothing but a wave-like movement. So, see, this is our mouth. The food has entered through mouth. Now it is passing through. From mouth it has to pass through esophagus. So, in esophagus, the food goes into the stomach by peristaltic movement. So what is peristaltic movement? It's a wave-like motion. If you see a waves, what happens? The wave will rise and then contract, expand and contract, expand and contract. So similar way, if the food is entering like this, what happens? in the esophagus. Now if the food is like this here, so what happens to this part? When the food has come down, this will expand and this will contract. This expands. As the food is going down, it expands. The upper part will contract. Now if the food is coming here, this will contract and this will expand. Okay? Here the food is coming like this. Where the food is coming, it is expanding. The muscles are expanding. You have two types of muscles in the esophagus. We will study about that in the next chapters. Okay? The muscles present in the esophagus expand and contract. So the upper muscles contract. The food, where the food is present, it will expand. Now when the food moves like this, it will contract. This part will contract and this part will expand. So that movement is called as peristaltic movement. It is a wave-like movement. So food passes from mouth into esophagus through peristaltic movement. Now what happens in the mouth? The food has become soft and slippery. So that food now is called as bolus. Okay, the food which is digested or which has been acted by the saliva and which has been crunched by the teeth is called as bolus. So the bolus, now the food has first the food. Okay, the food has become bolus. The bolus enters into the esophagus. Okay, the food from the bolus from the mouth enters into the esophagus. The bolus from the mouth enters into the esophagus through peristaltic movements. Now, from esophagus, what happens? So now the food is here. It has been crunched by the teeth and mixed with saliva. So carbohydrates digestion starts. Now the food is called here bolus. The bolus enters into esophagus. The bolus enters into esophagus through peristaltic movement. From esophagus, the food enters into the stomach. Food enters into the stomach. So here some splinter muscles will be there. Cardiac splinter. This is called as cardiac splinter. Okay, cardiac splinter. Okay, some splinter muscles like wing-like muscles. So all the food will not come into the stomach at one time. So some food, like if the food, this is the food, and so this food, this is the food. So the muscle is, the splinter muscle is closed, and so it opens and sends this food into the stomach and closes. Now afterwards, digestion of this food occurs. Now it has been digested, again it opens, it will send this one and closes. So the splinters muscles will open and close and regulate the passage of food into the stomach. Okay, here the splinter muscle, so the complete food will not come into the stomach. The splinter muscles control the entry of food into the stomach. It will open, it will send some food and it will close. After digestion of this food, it will again open and it will again send some food. So now the food has entered into the stomach. So what happens in the stomach? How the digestion takes place in the stomach. Now, when the food reaches the stomach secretes a juice called gastric juice. When the food reaches the stomach secretes a juice called gastric juice. It secretes a juice called gastric juice, which contains HCl. Gastric juice contains HCl. Its pH is 5. Okay. So what happens is, so here the pH 5 means it is acidic medium. So it is acidic medium. So here the alkaline means here you have basic medium in mouth and esophagus. Now the food has entered into stomach. So acidic medium, pH 5 is there. So it is acidic medium. Acidic medium. So what happens? The digestion of carbohydrates stops in the stomach. Carbohydrate digestion stops. Carbohydrate digestion stops in the stomach. Okay, carbohydrate digestion stops in the stomach. Okay, now if you see, so as the pH is 5, protein digestion starts in the stomach. Means protein digestion starts in the acidic medium. Acidic medium. So what happens here? An enzyme called pepsinogen. Pepsinogen is secreted. Due to presence of HCl, it converts into pepsin. Okay? Pepsinogen is an inactive enzyme which is present in the stomach. By secretion of gastric juice, pepsinogen becomes active and converts into pepsin. Pepsin will act on the proteins present in the food. So it breaks down the proteins. So the bolus which has entered into the stomach is now being acted by the pepsin. Pepsin is active in the acidic conditions. So pepsin acts on proteins and digests the proteins. Now the food enters into the duodenum. The food now enters into the duodenum. Okay, duodenum is nothing but the first part of the small intestine. Duodenum is nothing but the first part of the small intestine. So here in duodenum, while the food is entering into the duodenum, same. So the entire food will not enter into the duodenum. Here another splinter muscle will be present. So now this is our stomach. Now the food has been digested here. What will proteins are digested? Carbohydrates are not digested in the stomach. So stomach secretes gastric juice whose pH is 5. So pepsinogen is enzyme present in the stomach which becomes active due to HCl and it digests the proteins. Now the food has been digested here. Now that food is called as chyme. It has become very soft, slippery and very juicy. Okay, means it is very so soft. It becomes so soft and slippery. Now after this, the chyme enters into the duodenum. So this is our duodenum. Okay, this is our duodenum. So what happens? Here one more splinter muscle is present. This is called as pyloric splinter. Okay, pyloric splinter. So what it does? It will regulate the passage of chyme into the duodenum. So entire chyme is not passed at once into the duodenum. So this pyloric splinter, what it do? It closes. Afterwards it opens and it sends some of the chyme into the duodenum. Then it closes. Afterwards this chyme is digested or sent into the next part. Then it opens and again sends some chyme here. So after that the chyme has entered into the next part. Then again it opens, it will take some time and close. Like door open, close. If some people are coming, if 10 people are coming, you will open the door, send one person, then close. After you again open, again you send one person and you will close. Like that the pyloric splinter will open and send some chyme into the duodenum and will close. Afterwards again open and again send some chyme and again close. So like that the pyloric splinter will control the actions of the chyme. Now duodenum, some glands called liver and pancreas open. Digestive glands. Some glands called digestive glands. Digestive glands called liver and pancreas. Digestive glands called liver and pancreas open. Liver and pancreas open into the duodenum. Now this is our stomach. The stomach opens into duodenum. This is our duodenum. Now here what happens? The liver opens and the pancreas also opens, it ducts into this. So the liver opens into the duodenum and the pancreas also opens into the duodenum. So liver secretes some juice and pancreas also secretes some juice. So what are they? Liver secretes, first we will see the liver. Liver secretes bile juice. Liver secretes bile juice. Okay. Bile juice does not have any enzymes. Bile juice does not have any enzymes. So, but it helps in digestion. How? Because bile juice helps in the digestion of fats. Okay. You should remember, bile juice does not have any enzymes. The juice which has no enzymes is bile juice. But bile juice helps in the digestion of fats. Here this process is called as digestion of fats is called as emulsification. Digestion of fats by the help of digestion of fats by the help of bile juice. By the help of bile juice is called emulsification. Okay, emulsification. So, what happens? What is emulsification? Breaking of large fat globules into the smaller one with the help of bile juice. Now, first we will know what is emulsification. So, fat globules. This one is the large, big fat globule. It is broken down into a small flat globules by the action of bile juice. Bile juice. This contains bile pigments. Bile juice contains bile pigments. Okay. So, the big fat globules are broken down into small flat globules by the help of bile juice. And this process is called as emulsification. Now, what